Hi, and welcome to our Community Spotlight. I'm Talli, Pierre. I'm Maple Valley's Park Bench Ambassador and John L. Scott Real Estate Agent. Today, I'm visiting Gracene's Cupcake Boutique in Black Diamond. I'm here with the owner, Gracene Wood. So happy to have you here today.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yes, I'm a big fan of the cupcakes for sure. So I'm happy to be here. So first, what got you started? Why did you want to open a cupcake store?
I can't actually remember exactly what got me to open. We had moved from the Auburn area to Minnesota back in 2012, and when I got there, I had a yummy frosting recipe, and I had made some cupcakes for some friends, I believe, and for some church events, and just was kind of encouraged to start a business, and we just did, and the ball just started going right from there. So I rented kitchen space, and we just had an online presence, and then we did events and stuff like that. And then before we know it, we just were, growing by leaps and bounds. And then my husband's job transferred him back here.
Okay.
But we had already had a pretty good Facebook presence and online presence and stuff. So it was kind of an easy transition to open into the bakery here.
Right. Okay. Well, we're glad you did.
It's been fun.
Yeah. So you always have these amazing flavors, and it's an ever-changing lineup of flavors. How do you come up with these flavors?
I always have cupcakes on my mind. So anytime I go somewhere and have a dessert, I always try to think about how I can make it into a cupcake. So, for example, today we have a mint Oreo one. That happens to be my son's favorite Dairy Queen Blizzard.
Okay.
So, just having that and just trying to think how I can always kind of, make certain desserts, other desserts that I've had into a cupcake creation. And then I try to also, I spend a lot of time deciding, what flavor of the cake versus the filling versus the frosting.
Right.
So I try to be different than other bakeries and try to just come up with as many unique flavors and stuff. Of course, we've got the classics, triple chocolate and peanut butter and the classics, but then the little extras, I just, everywhere I go, I just kind of try to think how I can, even candy bars. I try to think, how can I turn this into a cupcake?
Right.
Yeah.
And the size of the cupcake is brilliant because you just, you feel better about eating it. How did you come up with the right size?
So when we first started, I did the large size. And, I noticed with having more variety and more flavors to choose from, the feedback that I was getting were people were saying, oh, it's, of course they're more expensive being the full size, but then people would let me know that at parties or events they had half-eaten cupcakes because people still want to try more than one flavor.
Right.
So I worked with, worked and researched and did all kinds of stuff to come up with the size that I wanted. Ours are a little bit bigger than other bakeries' minis, but not quite as large as another bakery's standard.
Right.
Kind of just right in between.
Yep.
And every once in a while we get asked why we don't do the large ones, but when we introduce the minis to our menu, they're 100 times more popular.
Yeah, so it's the perfect size.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we just quit doing the large altogether.
Yeah, absolutely, because you can really try to.
And I tell people too, when they're like, oh, for this event, we really had the large size on our mind, and I let them know what our feedback is. I would stick to just one or two flavors then, because you will have half-eaten cupcakes, because people will still want to try 2 or 3 flavors.
Right, that totally makes sense. So I've seen your cupcakes at events around town, and it always makes the event a little more special. I find people start to recognize that they're your cupcakes. So what kind of the most popular events are they used for?
I would say, I was going to say at first weddings. We do a lot of weddings, but birthday parties and dinner parties, and I definitely think that it's probably more popular with the adult crowd. We do a lot of kids' birthdays and stuff here and there as well, but and they are expensive cupcakes, and they are kind of a gourmet cupcake, and I feel like adults can really appreciate the ingredients and the time that it takes to put them together. And so definitely dinner parties, a lot of showers, baby showers, wedding showers. Weddings are a huge part of our business, and we book out about a year and a half or so in advance for weddings. So
Wow, that's great. I've used them at open houses too. So it makes the kitchen show off a little bit better with your cupcakes there.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I know you're passionate about something you call Cupcakes for a Cause. Can you tell us about that?
So that has really, in my opinion, become the heart of our business. When I started this, back in Minnesota, one of the very first fundraisers that we did was for a little girl, for a family that we got to know, and their little girl passed away at 8 years old. And her friends started a little organization just through Facebook that was called Amara's Acts of Kindness. And so I just said, hey, how about we do a cupcake fundraiser and we'll see how much money. And we only raised, I think, $300. I mean, something very small to begin with. But it was enough for these little girls to start a bank account and go buy supplies to keep doing these little random acts of kindness. And then from there, we did the next event and the next event. And then when we moved back here, I became really good friends with Laura Kaufman and Bree Nettleton, who both run nonprofits for kids with cancer. And their kids have become, second kids to me. They're my dearest friends. And so Kids with Cancer has definitely become the heart of our business. And, we can't make a huge difference, but we can make a little difference with these families. And seeing what these families go through is where I knew that we had to step in and do something. When there's plenty of organizations and foundations out there that raise money for cancer awareness or for cancer research, but there's not a lot that out there that support the families while they're in the midst of that battle.
Okay.
And what I've learned from Bree, whose son had cancer, and from my friend Laura, whose son also had cancer, is just the day-to-day expenses, all the appointments, and there's, when you've got a small child battling this disease, there's at least one parent, if not both, are not working. So sick time is used up, credit cards are maxed out, they're still having to go to Seattle Children's every single day, or so just the little things where grocery cards and gas cards and things like that we could do. And so when Cupcakes for a Cause was kind of started here in Washington, what we will do is we'll donate a day worth of profits, to a specific family. And, if we can give them, a little bit of money to pay a mortgage for a month, or, we just did one for a local family who has they're wonderful, wonderful people, 4 small children. The girls were here and loved every second of it. It was really fun to have them here. But, to be able to give them some money, especially over the holidays, but, like when I was talking to the gentleman who has cancer, I was talking with his wife, and she was like, just the co-pays is
everything
killing us. It adds up, and he's still able to work and she's working, but it just
so many extra expenses.
Yes, and that's where I've realized that as a community, as a business owner, as a business owner, I can step up, and as a community, just we all need to step up to help these families who didn't ask for it, they don't plan for it. It's not like you have a insurance plan in case your child gets cancer, so.
Right. And how do people help with that fundraiser? How do they know that you're doing a fundraiser day and that they should come?
So typically, I will either hear about a local family, or through Footprints of Fight, or through Hunters Helping Hands, my friends' organizations. I'll hear about a local family, and then it's just Facebook. We always post the events on Facebook. We try to give a few weeks notice, and then what we do is it's the entire day's worth of cupcake sales will be donated to that family.
Great. Okay. Well, good. Well, thank you so much for taking time out of your day. It was so nice talking with you.
Thank you for choosing me. I appreciate it very much.
Absolutely. And once again, I'm Talli Pierre. The website is parkbench.com/Maple Valley. And if you own a business and would like to be featured, just reach out to me and I'll interview you. Thanks. Bye.